for either of them. A draw is going to be an anchor that they'll both be tying around each other's feet, and they really nobody wants that. Neither FaZe nor Liquid wants that. So a win is the surefire goal for both of these teams, and Liquid are the ones who need it so much more. Start things off as Zofia and Habana banned out from the attacking side.
That's really the big question there. Why the Zofia specifically?
It's got to be a counter ban to someone in particular.
That's basically it.
I mean, there's no other way to look at that. When you ban an Ashe, you ban a Zofia, or anything along those lines, it's directed at someone specific, or you have a specific hold that you want. Probably an Echo ban here. Maestro maybe, but no. It's going to be an Echo ban.
You know why I would understand the Zofia ban? What if you want to play heavy on blue stairs?
Or what if you are going to be planning on having a Maestro? They did ban the Echo instead of the Maestro. You lean heavy into that Maestro. Zofia is a hard counter for that. So you're going to have to bring something else, maybe an Ashe, maybe a Twitch, but those are both with much less utility.
Yep.
Astra will be bringing the Ashe as a substitute for Zofia. No.
I think it's going to be
maybe
6-pick.
6-pick, yeah. Well, we'll find out as we enter into the 6-pick phase. It could be Dokkaebi changed into an Ashe. And it will be. There you go. So simple change there for Astro. Simple counter to the ban. But it does mean you're losing out on the lifeline. A little bit more lethality because you got a 3-speed, good gun. But you're losing out on the lifeline.
I like the smoke being 6th pick to the dock. Because sure, smoke is a great operator no matter what side you're playing, right? I think that's
Smoke is one of the most universally long-lasting, great operators in the game.
Basically. But when you show the smoke and then 6th pick from it to, in this case, the dock, it doesn't really show what you were trying to do. So maybe FaZe Clan were expecting to play the basement first, or maybe tellers. You're seeing the smoke, you're not expecting that smoke to be changed to anything else. That's a play with a 6th pick that might end up helping Liquid, should the dock be able to survive around this first entry area into the hallway, into the back of the B site. So some strategy in it. I like to play. The big question is how will it work out? And the Maestro is just the Maestro. He's a great operator. You're going to see him gather up information. And the lack of Zofia, obviously, is going to be a huge boon for Liquid in that.
I'm wondering if the Ashe is bringing the G36. No, it's the R4C. So, Astro sticking to his gun, quite literally, and not going to be going on to anything a little crazy. To be honest, the G36C is so good, though.
Yeah.
You can run an angled with an ACOG on a 3-speed on a gun that has little to no recoil. An angled grip. It means you're zooming all the time. Like it doesn't get faster than that. And Ashe is one of the few that can do that. So, or maybe one of the few that can do that with an ACOG, especially.
The G8, actually, the G8A1 for IQ actually does that because they added the angle grip on it.
But the ADS is already super slow on that, so it's more like a normal ADS if you put the angled on there. You have to run angled on the G8.
I was talking to Corey about it because he used it in EU a couple days ago, and he's like, yeah I think the Commando is overall a better gun, which is fair, but having the larger magazine with a normal ADS time is pretty nice with the G8.
You can do the angled ACOG 3-speed on the 5.52 too, can't you?
True.
So like, I mean, you've got
extra magazine.
Yeah, but moving forward into this round, it's been a stalemate. No one's actually done anything. We've got people in the back alley. We're half the round in already. So this has been really odd from both teams. FaZe, a little bit slow on their attack. Haven't opened up the wall yet. They're going to go for it just now. Looking for the impact tricks. Flash goes in to try and deny it. Second flash, not going to be successful. Impact trick comes out, but will it be successful? Looks like yes, didn't hear the explosion. So that's one exothermic gone. Ion, though, will punish them by getting 2 kills in the main lobby. That's pretty big. Flanks left open to ATMs, and those players just were not paying attention to that side of the map.
There was a hollow L85 play from the Thatcher that was fairly far away, but now second impact will come out and Liquid completely hold on to the top floor. Those walls will not be opened anytime soon, and I wonder what they're going to do here with the Maverick. Maybe FaZe will try to use the buck from below, but Nesk can always pounce and play his own game on the staircase.
It's pretty big that we just saw both of the exothermics tonight. No Habana on the board, so it's going to have to be either Maverick or nothing. Speaking of Maverick, he's going to get a kill onto Nesk. So now suddenly Team Liquid, with only 20 seconds needed to delay, are in a 1 versus 4. Sexy Cake's going to need to ace. He'll get his second, but not his third. And FaZe Clan will take the first round, despite some problem opening up the wall.
I mean, those are just great impacts. I'm not sure if Yuna was crouching away to try and pull the explosive back. The reason why, a lot of times, I want to add to this, maybe you're watching the VOD right now and you might not understand what I was talking about, but you look at our first game that we had of the evening. When the Thermite was coming up to the wall to open up the right-hand side and enter into CEO, he was putting the exothermic charge closer to the hard wall, the indestructible wall. And the reason why you do that is because you don't want the impact grenade explosion, the splash, off of the side of the window to come around and destroy your thermite charge. So that's the logic behind it, why you don't put it in the center or to that right-hand side edge. You put it more to the left. Unfortunately, it didn't work out because maybe it was a bit too high, maybe he didn't crouch for it, and that allowed the impact to kind of spread. The exothermic charge has 1 HP programmed to the game, so any sort of splash damage will instantly destroy it. It was just very well played. The kite tricking was fantastic from Sexy Cake, but to no avail. It's not really what was required. That flank from Ion was really the big deal for FaZe.
Now, FaZe had other ways they could have countered the impact tricking as well. They had a player at ATMs, which means there was no flank by the main lobby. If somebody had gone on North Propel, then Sexy Cake wouldn't have been able to impact trick. But, yeah, you know, it can't be perfect all the time, and FaZe did win, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. No, they're going to be attacking onto the bottom floor this time around. So that is where Liquid have decided to bring us. It's going to be a roam strat. Apparently this is now in vogue for Latin America, as we have seen heavy roam strategies now twice today in the 2 maps that have been played by 3 different teams. Kind of interesting. It's a little bit different. Actually, no, only 2 teams. I don't think, yeah, only 1 team ran hard roam strats in the last match, if I recall correctly, on the basement, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, only 2 teams. But still, yeah, popular, at least for Team Liquid. And,
they have been more
Dragons.
successful than others, Liquid, specifically on this roam. So,
I mean, yeah, in past, but here against FaZe, it might not work out for them, and we'll find out. So far, FaZe has done a great job of opening up the drop downs above the open area. Did that really quickly. It only took them a minute to make that happen. Solid roam here so far. I mean, solid control at least. Nothing's actually happened. Again, FaZe are very slow on their initial pounce. They're choosing their fights really carefully. That's what it seems like to me, because we saw the same kind of slowness from FaZe in the last round, but once they started coming alive, they really came alive, and they managed to win it out.
yeah, that's how FaZe usually do it. They just drone everything, they pounce, they get kills, and then they hold. They just stop. They don't push anymore because they realize that, okay, now you're going to be waiting for them, you're going to be at high alert, and that's when your energy kind of fades away, and then they strike again, and that's where they just finish you off. FaZe are just masters at that sort of approach. You see the smoke canister that has already been pre-placed, and it will pop, but as should happen, Thermite Charge has opened up the hatch in Skylight, which means Sexy Cake has to stay here and maybe die to hold on to servers. But beautiful play. Maverick has already done the work. What does he do? He rotates around. Cameraman is going to try to push in from the back into servers and should have a drone here to give him info. Flashbang will be thrown in, and that's the gunfight. Bit of a hit here on PSK, I believe, playing the Jaeger in the back. Double flashbang thrown in. Sexy Cake will win out against Mav. Just holding on. PSK takes down Yuna, though, as he dropped on in, and oh no! PSK running right into Cameraman. Ion, though, coming from the back. He'll find 1 kill, not the second in Garage. Moringa will hold it down. The Mouse 1, that's the Aldous-powered Ion and Astro eliminate.
Nice easy hold there for Team Liquid. FaZe decided to push in through all the choke points all at once without any actual advantage and lost their fights. Because that's how the bank basement defense works if you're not focused on one thing in particular. And we'll move on. CEO defense. And it's going to be top 4 once again. Liquid struggled with this last time. Great impact tricking by Sexy Cake. Just wasn't enough. FaZe managed to make it work for them because they got the picks that were necessary to just swing the round in their favor and rushed into sight. They didn't need any hard destruction in their favor to make it happen. Thatcher going to be 6-picked into a Lion. That's quite interesting. It's going to make opening up the wall harder, or it would if it weren't for those impacts.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
But it also is going to give you an advantage in that, yeah, you've got a Lion.
Yeah. So now, I'm going to try to play that same system. I guess 60K is going to run the same impact play, I'd assume.
I would assume as well. And I'm wondering if they're going to counter it by going on North Repel, or if FaZe are just going to let it happen and try to play the same way they did last round. I mean, they had somebody in ATMs. If you have somebody in ATMs, you're not going to have to worry about somebody on the defense rushing into your main lobby and killing the guy in North Repel through the window. So the cover's there. Just put one more person on the North Repel dedicated to opening the wall, and then you got your wall open. You don't have to do a roundabout strategy like they did it.
The big play before was Ion coming in with Thatcher, and well, now you actually, it's kind of a even better pick for that sort of strategy when you just put him on the Lion, right? So it's very possible that the work can be done. I like Nest's positions on his black eyes. There's one also watching in the main entrance to the bank, so it's going to give you some sneaky information on if you're going to be pressured in the back, and that was really what ended the round before for like.
There's also the fact that FaZe got 2 free picks in main lobby.
Yeah,
there's like not much else to.
That's it. They won because he walked in, he got 2 free kills, and then the round was done.
Yeah, pretty much. FaZe had the advantage, they took it. Well, this time around, I doubt Liquid will be doing that to themselves. Those new charms, the pilot program tones, they are so glowy. They shine so much on the screen. I think that's because we have the graphic settings maxed out. Every time we see one, I'm like, whoa. Really sending a message with that. First, EE1D used to no avail. Maybe they used to cover rotation that we didn't see or something like that, but no direct benefit that we can really notice. Could be helpful in denying the impact tricking if used correctly, but I don't think it will. Sexy Cake is likely to just go for the impact even if the E1D is on.
Liquid realized that they don't want to be flanked anymore, and oh, that's the kill. Beautiful from PSK. Mav, unfortunately, not realizing the Jaeger was in the hallway, and the second E1D will be used. And again, no effect at all. A bit too late. Ion will find Palu, though. He's going to try coming in from what is at this point the back. His opponent's position. Third E1D being used. Cameraman taking down Nest. The roam play is pretty much cleared and done. Still have one player to clear in trading, and Sexy Cake is still playing downstairs. It's PSK. Excuse me. PSK is still playing downstairs, and PSK hold up close by the reinforced walls. I'll be sending an impact here and there. And Sexy Cake, well, he'll find Astro. Impact grenade still in the back pocket. Should they be needed later on?
The fact that Sexy managed to get that kill and survive on such low HP is what keeps Liquid in this one. But as PSK on the flank is taken down, it's all on Moringa, really. He's got low HP as well, though, now after that engagement. Ion and Yuna are looking like they're in a good spot right this second. So thermic charge, I think, being planted just now. And yes, indeed, on the meeting wall, it will detonate. They completely gave up on the CEO wall. Probably the right call. The impact tricking from Sexy has been spot on. But only 18 seconds left for these last 2 FaZe members to make this push happen and get the round. Impact tricks going out. They know that some of these players on the attack are on low HP. Moringa gets one and another. Beautiful pivot there from Moringa, and Liquid will take their second round in a row.
Well done by Moringa. He saved the round a couple times now with his Maestro play.
Yeah. And solid. FaZe tried to pinch there. They tried to come in through paper and through reception, and probably the right call would have just been to double up in that situation. Maybe come from the same kind of direction, but not the same angle. Don't know. No matter how you look at it, it didn't work out for FaZe. And that's really the end of the story. Tellers now.
Castle's going to be brought out. Makes sense.
6-pick. They tried to distract with the Clash. It's interesting.
I think maybe the Clash pick would have signified to the attack that, hey, we're going to play open area. Or we're going to go back.
Maybe.
Well, they could have played basement with it, but open area kind of fits Clash a bit more. CEO does as well.
Could they have played basement?
No.
Yeah, because they just won
Basement,
it.
yes. CEO, no.
Yeah. No, like because they just won it. They won basement two rounds ago, so you have to be 3 rounds away.
Yeah, they have to go to tellers.
Yeah, they either go
So
tellers
it's the
or open.
area. So that was
Yeah.
that was the play. It did make sense.
Yeah, I maybe it'll work for them. I don't know. I mean, Castle would have said the same thing, to be honest. Like if we're looking at it like that, Clash and Castle kind of say the same. I think they were just trying to be like, hey, you're gonna have to deal with a clash, and then oh, there's no clash. Crazy.
5 seconds
But
left.
to be honest, they're gonna know that there's no clash as soon as they see the castle barricades,
Very good point.
because they didn't see castle in the reveal phase, so it doesn't really. I don't know. They probably just changed their mind. They're probably just like, nah, bring a castle instead. You gotta remember, there's only what 15 seconds to pick an operator, so.
So now the setup from Liquid is to hold on to the top floor for as long as humanly possible. It works. At least on them. So you have the Buck in play. Great to have, as well as the Jackal. You have the Ash, should the breaching rounds be needed. Ness is actually playing upstairs in the Maestro and is sitting in meeting solo. Let's have at least one player supporting him and maybe another in trading or play by the hallway or the elevator shaft. Usual strategy at least. The wall is soft here. There's no holes that have been opened up at foot level. That's kind of the one unusual part about it. Otherwise, it works pretty well. But a lot of these holes that have been opened up support PSK and Moringa in playing from below,
Bomb located
holding
by
on.
attackers.
And making sure that even if there's somebody diving by the windows, they can't just get a free kill. And should they do that, they're just going to get shot instantly with the refrag. So everything's set up very well by Liquid.
FaZe again on the slow take. They've been playing like this for a while now. Their attacks really methodical. It's worked out for them once. They're looking to make that twice. It's a skylight take right now. Yuna going for some shots, but it's going to be Astro to secure Moringa inside of Archives. Doesn't appear to be any other anchors in that site. Cameraman's going to take down Palu elsewhere. Sexygate will get a refrag there by Tellers, but the plant's going down all the while, so that's really all that's important, and it will be successful. Surprise, surprise. No denial there. Rotation denied as PSK attempts to run back in. Sexygate now the last one alive. He would have had to ace. It's not going to happen. A simple attack into Archives from FaZe works out great for them.
It's just, hey, it works well. You have control, map, and then in the end, this is the second time that we've kind of, or third time even, that we've seen more pressure being put into Archives from Skylight than the other way around from Tellers, which is the usual. And I'm kind of wondering, is this a shift or teams kind of trying stuff out?
Don't know. I think it was just like just decided to do something a little bit different. It wasn't a rush strat. It was just a simple take in through Archives.
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't overcomplicate it. I don't know what else to say. They kept it simple. I like that. I gotta appreciate that. It's a throwback a little bit.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Don't see a lot of strats like that so far in LATAM today. We've been having a lot of really elaborate, multi-pronged pushes that rely on everything going right in LATAM through these 2 matches so far. When you see something that it's just, tried and tested and true and simple and works and being brought out here from FaZe, you gotta applaud it. It's a good job to them for making it happen.
10 seconds.
Liquid are gonna have to go to the basement next.
5 seconds left before insertion.
All right. It's still 2-2. It's a pretty close game so far. So Moringa's already set up his evil line inside, and there's going to be a pixel angle for the Maestro to use. He's going to choose to play Garage, and this is what I like. To play the Clash. There's a Zofia ban. This is the plan from Liquid. It all makes sense. It comes together. No Zofia. You can't stun. There's no Capitao in play because you're not really expecting to play him, I guess, in this space, even though he would work very well on this site. How are you going to deal with the Clash in blue? You're going to have to come and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Smart.
The Clash is going to definitely help. So will the Maestro. I mean, yeah, it's a multi-pronged ban there with the Zofia. It's just different. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So far, nothing really happening here for FaZe. They know it's basement, so they're going to clear out the roamers. Once they've cleared out the roamers, there are none. But once they know there are none, then they'll start their push downstairs. The question is where exactly? Is it going to be onto the server? Well, that's going to be difficult with this clash setup. Likely all the ADS is placed, or maybe they're juggling them so they can avoid the Thatcher EMP. It is actually the Jaeger playing on the staircase. Surprisingly, he's using the rifle instead of the M870. For those of you who don't know, the M870 is actually a really good shotgun. But using that carbine, not rifle, pardon me, using that carbine is going to give Jaeger a little bit more versatility should he need to fall back. Also, you can kill more people with it. The M870 is kind of a one-and-done type deal. It's such a slow rate of fire.
Yeah, it's not like when you're using Mozzie shotgun gridlocks. It's just fires so fast between them, even if you have to reload in total much more often. And that's the play of the Clash. How do you deal with her? The explosive resistance on the CCE shield and Clash in general is just massive. You can chuck a grenade literally at her feet. It will barely do anything
Bomb
to her.
located by attackers.
She's going to sit pretty and sit very angrily, as Clash so often does.
Look at this. They've opened up the server drop down. A crazy revelation of how to take server, and it's, well, not working out for them too well. Unit did get a kill there, but advantage for Liquid. This Clash is really presenting the server stairs take, and PSK is taking full advantage. He's managed to do a lot of work. Ion has worked his way into sight, though. And Sexy Cake on low HP, this is winnable. He only has 20 seconds to make this happen, but hey, if he gets the diffuser, comes back to sight, it totally could. Sexy Cake has worked his way up to the top of Skylight, trying to hold on to the diffuser. They know it's there at the top of the server stairs.
10 seconds remaining.
PSK on a really tight angle. He's likely not to be spotted, and he won't be. There you go. PSK ending the round out. A great round from him individually.
The whole setup to run the Clash is just so good.
Yeah, it worked out well.
It's a very smart play. This is kind of Liquid going pretty deep into understanding how things function. And that's really what you're expecting at this level of play. This is what's supposed to happen. Zofia ban makes a lot of sense. The Clash worked well. And FaZe did the one thing they could really do when adapting, is opening up the hatch and trying to move from there. Unfortunately, their take with the Maverick just did not work, and server was completely held down by Liquid. Sexy Cake survived with barely any HP left, and that was really all that was necessary for Liquid to hold on in FaZe. Even with their flank was just not strong enough to retake it, and now Liquid will have to go to CEO. So they'll have to play up through there, and I'm going to bring anything special for that. No, it's the same setup as we saw before. We still see the castle in play, even though it's kind of a different site than what they played it before. So no smoke. Liquid kind of sticking with that strategy for CEO. No mute in play, no Qa'id in play as well, which was what Liquid were opting for Sexy Cake when he was running here. But big bonus, if you kind of compare the castle and the Qa'id, you still have impact grenades, and you can still pull off your role if it's all about destroying those exothermic charges.
A little bit of a change, but not too crazy. I think they're just getting worried because the last time they were here, it was almost a loss for Liquid. Very nearly. They managed to win it in the end, but came close. Came close for sure. So maybe change a few things. Make it so FaZe has to adapt to you. We'll see how that plays out. What we do know is that FaZe are going to be bringing the Lion again, and the EE1Ds are going to be used early on to no effect. Once again. I'm not sure why. There's got to be a reason. Don't know what it is.
Huh. Shoddy castle.
Well, I mean, the ump isn't great for everybody.
That's true.
If you're not hitting headshots with the UMP, it's just not a fun gun to play with.
Yeah, might as well run pistol.
Yeah. So if you're having trouble with your accuracy, then yeah, 5.7 shotgun. I mean, a 5.7's got a lot of ammunition, very versatile. Do a lot with it.
So.
But it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's the same thing as the ump. It's just smaller mag.
Yes.
Because only have 21 bullets. You can shoot faster with the 5.7, I think. So probably if you spam your mouse enough.
Still nobody here at the window, which is kind of very surprising. There's no pressure. There's no window pressure at all.
Well, FaZe have been like this for the whole match. They've been having really slow takes
Located by attackers.
where they set themselves up comfortable. Liquid's not getting very aggressive on attack. So, oh, this could be a free kill. He doesn't see the barrel, though. Oh, opportunity missed! And Sexy Cake punishes Cameraman for switching to the blowtorch.
Oh no, Sexy Cake, what a shot! That's definitely not something that you were expecting. And well, you lose the Maverick. Not the worst of spots, that's for sure, for FaZe, but hey, those impact grenades are still in play, and I'm not sure if Sexy Cake will return to that position close up to the reinforced wall. Nesk is not being hunted, at least not directly. Mav, in the meantime, is just kind of moving around into archives. You'll hear the shotgun Skelton Key doing work from below, trying to push defenders back. The usual planting spot has been destroyed. As you see, the bookcase, or the overturned bookcase, is down. And the MPX, there you go. It only takes a few shots here and there, and a few extra. But Ion will be removed, so there's your flank. That was the thing that was helping FaZe Clan so much in the past. However, Yuna will actually be able to sneak up to the CEO desk. Try to plant. Astro spraying the back. Close to dropping Paulo, but he's still alive. And oh, beautiful for Moringa as he turns around the shotgun hole that was pre-placed by Sexy Cake. Works out well. Moringa one more running the shotgun as Astro finds a kill, but at 20 HP, all it takes is one bullet, and Paulo will make sure it hits the head. Liquid and the half with a 4-2.
It's a good half there for Liquid. FaZe managing to salvage 2 out of it, but for the most part, it did look like Liquid were in control of their defenses. Now, as we transition to the second half, this should be a small favor for FaZe as they get to do their own defense. They're going to start in the basement. Doesn't look like it's going to be a server hold, not based off this operator lineup, but they could 6-pick at any moment. Or they could just be crazy and try to hold it like this. Or maybe there's an M870 Jaeger. I mean, we don't know. We'll find out when we actually get into the round. But for now, FaZe looks a little bit more conventional than what we were seeing from Liquid on Liquid's own defenses of the basement. Now, information setup is mostly limited to the Maestro and the Valkyrie. That should be plenty for this site, especially if you're not roaming. Ion on the Alibi could potentially roam, but also, I mean, Alibi is one of those operators that is very versatile in that she doesn't specialize in any one particular thing. Not really, not truly. Like if you want to roam or bring a Vigil.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, Alibi's utility on the site can confuse people sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Alibi's bad. I'm saying that she doesn't specialize in anything.
That's very true.
You can throw those Prismas up in sight. You can throw them up on a roam.
Yeah.
It's really your call. It's yeah. I mean, whatever you think is going to be most useful.
She doesn't do anything super specific, which is very correct. Her SMG is definitely a pretty decent one.
Some people don't like it. I've heard people call it a pea shooter before, but I don't know. I agree with you.
I kind of prefer it to the MPX.
It's well, to me it's like an MPX. It's just a high rate of fire headshot machine.
Yeah.
And you throw. I'll use either one of them. I'm comfortable with. I prefer the MPX because it has less recoil. Though both of them have very little recoil. Anyway, that's just all like personal preference, and clearly he's comfortable with the gun as he's gonna be roaming with it, along with Astro, who manages to get the first kill. And that goes down, just trying to clear into ATMs. That's poor droning from Team Liquid.
Yep. He was right up there on the top of the staircase. It was found. Liquid are not pushing from the top floor. And this is the big thing when it comes to roam play on the basement, is that this is not like with Consulate. The map is larger. And on Consulate, you're attacking Garage, you're clearing the top floor, and then going down, right?
You know what's crazy to me?
Time.
Jackal's not banned, he's not being played.
I don't know.
Do you need a sledge? Maybe. Do you need a Jackal? Heck yes. Heck yeah. When Jackal's not banned, you bring him, man.
Jackal, Lion, Dokebi, I mean...
Well, I mean, I could see getting rid of the sledge, but who else in this lineup are we getting rid of?
No, like, instead of the sledge, you can put...
you got a lot
one of
options.
Those roam clears, basically.
I could see the Dokebi as well. Either one. But yeah, it is actually going to be a server hold. This is interesting. They're doing it with the smoke. Just smoke straight up, staring at the door with shotgun. It's dangerous.
Bomb has been located.
No direct assist. No hard hold. All anyone has to do to kill that smoke is just, yeah, come around pre-firing.
Oh, what a shot. Sexy Cake takes down Astro as he moves back to the pre-open hatch. Paulo will find another on Ion. It seems like the Thatchers have been doing a pretty darn decent job today. They'll push the smoke back for just a second, but Yuna actually push up closer. Just something that I kind of like here. The smoke is going to obstruct his position for just a moment. They're going to try to pre-fire into him. An extra flashbang, and this one will succeed as it gets dropped. Beautiful play by Liquid. Unfortunate here for Yuna. Unfortunately, though, for the Capitao, both crossbow bolts have been used. But it's 2 players left for FaZe Clan, and you can still use your smoke bolt for this. You see the new deployable shield that's set right in front of the Mav. They try to give him some info, spray into the back, but Sexy Cake has already found one in red and the second in garage. He had the info on him. All he needed to do was turn around, and as the smoke was set down, he could find him. Great fragging play from Sexy Cake.
Certainly is. Just in general, I gotta say, FaZe Clan had a pretty interesting setup, but I mean, they weren't really doing anything particularly well. So, like, for example, we're gonna hold on to service stairs. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna use our smoke. But that was it. That was the extent of it. They also had a row of ADSs set up pretty deep enough where they weren't destroyed by a Thatcher EMP through the wall, which was really cool. But Yuna was very exposed because those ADSs weren't covering the flashbangs. So usually if you're going to hard hold it, maybe your Jaeger's going to ADS juggle, or maybe you'll have, maybe like a clash to hold the doorway so you don't have to worry about anything unless it's called by your teammate. I don't know. It just seemed a lot like... It seemed a lot like there was a half-hearted attempt at emulating what was done to them in the first half, and it wasn't really planned very well by FaZe.
Yuna unfortunately lost that position with the smoke because he did not have proper support and really a way to deal with those flashbangs. ADSs were already burned. The reason why things worked for Liquid before is that they had the clash in front.
They weren't burned. They just were so far that they weren't catching anything. They specifically put the ADSs down really far away so that the Thatcher EMP wouldn't destroy them, but then they didn't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he pushed up to the top of the stairs.
The flashes were detonating at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, against nades, they would probably save him because he would just fall back, right? But against flashes, they didn't do anything. That's really cool. He prepped that castle barricade without the punch holes hopping up on the barricade, so nobody knows he prepped it.
Yeah, you can still hit the black part of the castle barricade. Same thing for even the tiny red part, but as long as you're really at the edge, it will register the hit. So just a bit of a tidbit for people that don't know that this is doable. It is. And it can really surprise you because you're not seeing any punch holes anywhere.
Yeah. It certainly can surprise. Now, we'll see if that's enough to win the round. As right now, FaZe are looking like they can't. I mean, we've seen some close ones here for sure, but it certainly feels like Liquid are in the driver's seat. CEO defense, but roams downstairs. Punch hole's not going to get the kill on Tapalu, who's going to push into archives. Low HP, yeah, but still alive, still able to do damage, and Mav will be the one to suffer because of that. It's a Valkyrie cam and runs away. That's all of those EMPs still in play because whoever was on that punch hole couldn't secure the kill, like the cameraman. And he goes down to Nest. Liquid just coming out on favor in all of these engagements as they also take down Mav. Moringa on perfect repel to cut off the rotation, and the roamers downstairs are dealt with just like that.
Liquid is on fire, definitely, and that's no play on words, that's for sure. Punch holes have not been as prevalent as bullet holes nowadays, and it wasn't really that was the problem. It's just you needed that one bullet to deal with the Thatcher. You have support from above now, but your site is like pretty much open at this point. Ion is trying to play the long-range game, is playing closer to B, but Moringa is just gonna have to provide fire. That's it. He's gonna literally use his crossbow bolts at some point in time, and then LMG. There's not much that you can do about it unless you go for runouts. Maybe Astro would go for that at some point, but he's got to watch for his opponents on the top of the stairs. Unfortunately, he's unable to catch anyone just yet. They run away at the right moment. Ion will find PSK, and Astro just creeps up. Diffuser should be spotted here, but he is already. Sexy Cake and Ness will find a kill each with Yuna alive. He trades it. It's not good enough. It's Liquid with yet another round on map and match point. They get 1 point at the end of this minimum, which is what they were looking for. But hey, a victory for Liquid is huge here.
Okay, I'll keep it simple for you guys. Those two roamers downstairs not getting a single kill for their troubles and dying in the end. From that point, now FaZe are in a position where the last three players have to do something crazy. They have to have some heroics. Otherwise, there is no chance of winning that round for FaZe. Nothing standard is going to take you out of a 3 versus 5. So, roamers put the team in trouble. The anchors just can't dig them out of trouble. Liquid win the round. It's that. It's that simple. So, moving on.
Attackers need to locate
Team
and
Liquid
defuse as many bombs
on
as they
attack of the basement. Once again. And once again, the operator selection, nothing too crazy, pretty standard stuff here. The question is, how is FaZe going to utilize these operators? Because in the past, they tried to hold server stairs, tried to hold the garage. None of it was really working out. Lost a lot of manpower for free on attempted retakes of the top floor from the main stairs. They got to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more calculated in where they decide to be.
10 seconds remaining.
Otherwise, this is over. I mean, we're on match point right now. This means that FaZe cannot take first off today. I mean, well, even they would have to have the tiebreak against NIP to even do that. I don't know if they do. I'll check.
Right now, when it comes to aggregate, if you compare the two, they are tied 6-6.
So it would come down to the actual
game
aggregate score, like you said.
It comes down to overall round differential because it's
they drew
head-to-head. Is a draw, and then it goes to your from points to head-to-head to overall round wins.
Yeah. So, all right, that means that it would probably be NIP that, but who knows? Anyway, that means that FaZe cannot come close to first. The most they can get out of this is 1 point. That would put them at 18.
Yep.
So if they had one, then they would take first from NIP. They would have.
It would make it so they wouldn't tie with INTZ because INTZ also tied with FaZe Clan.
Yeah. So, all right, well, it's all not going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, Liquid are the ones on match point, and the most FaZe can get is 1. So, hey, the most they can do is make their suffering a little bit less. But, again, Liquid are the ones who really need this win. And you can bet that FaZe don't want to let them have it because FaZe are the ones jockeying for second place. Liquid are also. So if FaZe can run interference and get a draw here, then that's a win in of itself. For them, at least.
I understand the alibi play here, but I really don't think this is what's going to save you.
I don't think so either. I
think the clash should just be so much better.
I'm not saying that they need to lean into the clash myself because
it takes standard.
Yeah, it takes practice. It takes practice to get used to the clash, but I agree with you. The pulse would just be useful.
It would work.
Yeah,
it's tried and tested. Everybody can kind of run it well. I get the reason why you would run the alibi if you're really not going to confuse your opponents, but I mean, is that really what's going to save the day for you? I genuinely don't think so. There might be a shot here from Tac Crossbow from Moringa, and indeed it will be the case. That's a pretty sweet spot to run it, actually. You can't really run away from it, and you see both sides that have been burned away, so alibi should not be in this position. Oh, there you go. She runs on back, so now your crossbow bolt has been used, and it didn't really do much. You need to use the second one to clear her away. Ion takes a lot of damage, and he's close to being dropped. Paulo finds him. That's what you needed to. Well played by Liquid.
That was a really, really well-positioned crossbow bolt. I agree with you. The smoke will get one down, but nothing else, and that means that Palu will just be picked up. That's why smoke isn't great for that spot, not when compared to an Ella, for example, which doesn't take any kind of practice or calculation. You just run her. Sexy Cake will take down Cameraman, but look at the time. Look at the time. Astro above Skylight. He might just need to persist with Mav to win this out. And Mav's doing a great job on the anchor. He's going to get yet another. That's 3 for him in the round. But it won't matter in the end. Team Liquid win it, and they take the match. GG's in the chat.
What? What happened?
Well, we were getting close to a time victory there for FaZe, but they rushed it.
Did the Jaeger get dropped as well? They
peeked.
fired at one another?
He peaked, man.
He peeked. He won his gunfight, but he got dropped on the floor as well.
Yeah, it was a trade in effect.
Oh, yeah. And then the Thermite went in.
Got the Valkyrie.
God, you're like, oh man, Mav is going to save the day, but no.
Nope.
Liquid 7-2 victory. Wow, they absolutely mopped the floor today with FaZe Clan, and yeah, that's Team Liquid going